Welcome back everyone, it's Haz with another developer summary for The Last Court of the Rings this Friday that was a mini preview of the upcoming expansion Legacy of Morgoth with Orion lead system designer as a guest. As per tradition, let's keep this short and concise and let's only talk about the most important topics they touched. There was a large section in the stream summarizing the story and what happened in Corsairs of Umbar, which I won't go into at all, and instead only focus on actual news, starting with the biggest announcements. Orion reiterated again that this year didn't go exactly as planned, the roadmap was extremely ambitious, and some tasks proved to be a lot harder to complete than anticipated. Because of this, in 2025 news and updates might happen quarterly instead of a large roadmap to keep players in the know. Orion said, "I didn't do a great job at making sure that all the changes that really had happened were communicated in a way they probably should have been. For that I apologize and we're hoping to get it better next year." Legacy of Morgoth is still planned to release on the 6th of November and everything is going according to plans for the team. Everyone is working hard on the final touches and is super excited for next week. Regarding the expansion, there's been some adjustments to the new reputation system according to player feedback and will be a lot more valuable, more on this later in the video. There are over 350 quests, 4 brand new regions with new assets and design, and 3 instances released with Legacy of Morgoth with a raid coming at a later date in 2025. I also have a short section for this one. The Elf Avatar rework that has been on Bull Roarer and I also made videos about will go live together with the expansion, so the 6th of November, but High Elves are still coming at a later date as Cordovan said. Speaking of reworks, the challenge continues to make Lotro more accessible, but thankfully another panel, the Barber Shop, will become scalable for all resolutions for ease of use. A fairly big announcement, at least in my opinion, for the Legendary servers is that the changes to Mines of Moria expansion will have their own preview later on the Bull Roarer test server, which sounds really exciting. We know it won't have a full balance rework for difficulty, but if they want to test for it, that sounds pretty good. Update 42 will also have some class balancing included, nothing too big, but the work continues to realign the DPS hierarchy of classes with bigger changes happening next year for Hunter and Burglar. Orion said, "It doesn't mean there's going to be an overhaul for these classes, but there's going to be changes to make one or more of their specializations more appealing, more streamlined, and closer to the roles that they should be." A quick mention of the new Baubles collection panel. I wouldn't make a special section for this, but it's still really cool. The aim of this panel is to collect all the silly items and cosmetic use items you have into its own section and enhance the social interactions in Lotro. So like campfires, fireworks, picnic baskets, dwarf candles, and so on would go into this panel. At the start, it will only have a limited selection of items for it, but over time it will expand both with brand new items and retroactively add in stuff to free up your inventory space. I'm personally a big fan of these as I do love emotes and silly interactions, so good to have them in one place. Finally, to not forget about our monster players, PvMP is also getting a lot of changes with the expansion, mainly the War Leader class is getting changed, and Orion mentioned that they have more plans to touch PvMP somewhere closer to next year's summer if everything goes well. So first, regarding the reputation changes, as you know in Legacy of Morgoth, the VIP benefits expand with a new feature to make it even more valuable. So if a character reaches a certain reputation rank, then other characters on that server will get a reputation bonus for faster progression. This is still planned to be a VIP only feature, and for the moment will only affect Legacy of Morgoth content and eventually expand outside of it if everything goes well. Due to player feedback, the previous 5% and 10% that was mentioned as an idea for this has been expanded though, and Orion said that now upon reaching ally status, your other characters will gain a 10% bonus, and if you reach Kindred, that's a 25% reputation bonus for all other characters. Orion also announced that the new reputations will also introduce reputation-based chests scattered around the world that you will be able to open with special barterable or craftable keys that has interactions with crafters for more incentives. So overall, that's pretty neat. Like I mentioned earlier, the expansion is coming with 3 new instances and a raid eventually, and the reason I wanted to make a separate section for this is because Orion once again mentioned that the new raid will especially be something cool. There are new people involved in the making of dungeons and raids, and he said, "The ambition here is to kind of bring our raids into a modern way of presenting them to the player base. What we have so far I think is pretty cool, and we're excited about what we're building." So it sounds like there's even more effort going into the raid this time around, and perhaps, if I understood it correctly, there's an ambition here to bring them closer to the competition for better endgame content. This was also somewhat confirmed earlier by On McMahal, who was really excited to work with a team to create more complex and exciting boss battles. A reminder here that with the new raid, the team is returning to a larger raid template of having 3 different wings with 2 bosses in each of them, which Orion was quite excited about, so fingers crossed everyone. So those were all the bigger news and development news I would say this time around in Court of the Rings. Hope I didn't miss out on anything important for anyone. If I did, please mention it below. But if you watch this, you know the drill. Type Morgoth below so that I know it. Like and subscribe for more Lord of the Rings online content, and I'll see you all the next time.